Life can knock you down again and again until you feel too hopeless to get back up. If that's you, you're not alone. Millions of people battle despair, depression, and hopelessness. But you don't have to stay in that pit. In this video, I'll show you how Psalm 40 reveals God's power to lift you out of despair and restore your hope. Don't miss the action steps in the second half of the video, steps that could change your life. In the 1970s, researchers conducted one of the most heartbreaking psychological experiments ever documented. What they discovered would reveal a devastating truth about depression and hope. Milo was a young, playful monkey full of curiosity and energy. He had a loving family, spent his days interacting with them, and had a spark of joy in his eyes. But everything changed the day he was placed in the device. It was an inverted pyramid, narrow at the bottom, wide at the top. Above him, a mesh covering teased him with glimpses of the outside world, freedom, just out of reach. The walls were steep and smooth, forcing him to climb again and again, only to slide back down. For 2 days, Milo climbed to the top again and again, growing more frantic with each failure. On the third day, he stopped. He just sat there, motionless, his hope extinguished. When Milo was reunited with his family, he didn't respond. He didn't play or look at them. The light in his eyes was gone, replaced by emptiness. Milo's spirit had been broken in the device they called the pit of despair. Now, Milo is a fictional character, but he's based on factual accounts of experiments done by comparative psychologist Harry Harlow. And they actually did call this device the pit of despair. This wasn't just an experiment about monkeys. It revealed something profound about human depression, about what happens when life repeatedly dashes our hopes. Life is a pit of despair for many people, maybe you. Life has a way of knocking us down. We get up, it knocks us down again, and that happens again and again. At some point, many of us never get up. We stop trying. We sit there, resigned to live a numb, hopeless life. We lose the joy of life. Dr. David Haskam writes, "One problem that is not often acknowledged is that of inducing depression from repeatedly dashing people's hopes, especially patients with chronic pain, as there's already little or no promise of a cure." Psychology Today, January 25th, 2025. This year, over 20 million people in the U.S. will experience depression that severely impairs their ability to function. Depression hits us so hard that, like Milo, we stop trying. We're immobilized. We're held captive by the hopelessness and despair that grips our souls. Over our lifetimes, 1 out of every 5 people will experience a major depressive disorder. For some, the depression never goes away. Depression is the #1 cause of disability in the world. But there is a way out of that pit. There's someone in the Bible who knew what it meant to be in the pit of despair. His name was David, and he shows us how to get out. Imagine being rejected by your own family. You are so insignificant in your father's eyes that when Samuel, the great prophet of God, comes looking for a future king among your father's sons, he didn't even bother calling you in from the fields. That was David's reality. Then life seemed to turn around. David defeated Goliath, a moment that should have brought acceptance and approval. Instead, it led to years of running for his life, hiding in caves, surviving assassination attempts from the very king he served faithfully. King Saul was wildly jealous of David, who fought and defeated the giant Saul should have fought. But the real devastation came later in David's life, from his own family. His son Amnon raped his daughter Tamar. Another son, Absalom, murdered Amnon in revenge, and he did it in front of all his brothers. Absalom later led a rebellion to take David's throne. 20,000 men, including Absalom, died in the civil war that followed. And more. There's so much more in David's life. In the midst of this darkness, maybe during one of those nights hiding in caves while running away from Saul, or after learning of his daughter's rape, or of the death of one of his sons, David wrote something profound. We know it as Psalm 40. In Psalm 40, verses 1 to 4, David, clearly depressed, encouraged himself by remembering what God had done for him in the past. David led such a traumatic life that he may have dealt with depression many times. He wrote, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." David was talking about what happened in the past. He clearly, by the end of Psalm 40, has not resolved the current situation he's in, but he's remembering what God has done for him in the past, and he's believing God will do it again. Action steps to let God lift you out of the pit of despair. First, wait patiently. David's situation was not immediately resolved. Choose to remember what God's done for you in the past. Choose to trust God more than you trust the circumstances. There's a waiting during which we gain strength. It's not passively hanging on. It's active, expectant waiting, knowing God will come through for you. Isaiah 40:31. Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary. Remember times that God came through for you. Wait, expecting God to do it again. You'll grow stronger, not weaker, as you wait. Second, God will turn to you. Verse 1 says that he turned to me and heard my cry. Other translations say he bent down and heard my cry. I love that. Picture that. You cry out. God turns to you. Then he leans down to hear what's on your heart. So tell him God is listening. He sees you. He understands you, and his heart is for you. Third, he will lift you out of that pit. Verse 2, he lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. This verse describes someone who is stuck. Ask and expect God to lift you out of the pit of despair. Disappointment, failure, loss, anything that makes us lose hope literally drains the life out of us. Like Milo in the story that began this video, when our hopes are dashed again and again, we quickly lose joy and peace. It can happen in a matter of hours. Life seems meaningless. We become listless. We have no energy or strength to go on. Turn to God, and he will lift you out of that pit. Let me just talk to you for a minute. I've experienced this more than a few times in my own life because I've had chronic pain for several years, as I've shared in other videos. The pit of despair isn't a physical place. It's a place in your brain. Escape the pit of despair by renewing your mind with God's word. A thought problem requires a thought solution. Romans 12:2 urges us, let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Other translations say that God transforms us by renewing our minds. Verse 2 promises God will give you a firm place to stand, a rock. Replace hopelessness and fear with God's truth and promises. They are eternal, unchanging, the rock upon which we stand, our firm foundation. They're more real than your fleeting circumstances. Often, once we've dealt with this psychologically, we can walk out of the physical circumstances that cause our despair. But first, we must defeat the despair in our minds and hearts. And God will do that as you stand on his truth and his promises. Years ago, I was getting ready to share in a church. I was talking about China back during the years when I was actually serving God in China. And right before I began to speak, God showed me a picture. And then I changed totally what I was going to talk about. What God showed me was a man hanging on the side of a mountain, and he's barely hanging on. And then God showed me a picture of a guy standing on top of the mountain, just enjoying the view, much more relaxed and not stressing or striving at all. That's a picture of us, believing in God's promises and standing on them, or just trying to cling to the side of the mountain, just try to hang on. Don't just hang on. Take the step to get on top of the mountain and stay there. Fourth, God will put a new song in your mouth. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. God drew David into praise and worship. Praise and worship is a powerful way to clear our minds of our troubles and put our focus back on God, who he is, and all he has done for us and for all mankind. Verse 3 continues, many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Others will see you praising God in the midst of your troubles and put their trust in God too. If you're stuck in the pit today, don't give up. God sees you. He hears your cry, and he's ready to lift you out. Cry out to him. Trust his promises. He'll set your feet on solid ground and put a new song of joy and peace in your heart. So start today. Take the practical steps. Change the way you're thinking by renewing your mind with God's word and worshiping him. You won't feel like it. Do it anyway. And God will lift you out of the pit of despair so you can go on with the life he has given you. A beautiful life, a life full of joy and peace and love. If this was helpful to you, please subscribe, like, and comment. I pray with all my heart that this has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, may God richly bless you and yours.